2026, the Major League Baseball season is quickly approaching. We are less than a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting. Wow. We're just a couple of months from the World Baseball Classic. And, right behind that is going to be opening day. And that means that Padres Hot Tub is ramping up and getting back into regular season mode. Not yet, but coming up real soon. What does that mean? That means twice a week shows for our patrons at patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. We do this main show for the world every week, and we do it throughout the off season and throughout the regular season. But we do a lot more for our patrons, including group therapy. That's a weekly show we do in season that we host on our Discord channel, where people get to join us on the virtual stage, come on up, almost like calling into a radio show. But it's not on the radio where you're worried about being listened to by your boss. It's on our Patreon Discord that you can only have access to by going to patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. Beyond that, we do post-game shows. We did it for just about every win in 2025. We did over 90 overall post-game shows last year. What?
No, it's crazy. I'm just like, wow, I can't believe we did that many shows.
Yeah, no, we did. I mean, we literally did. We did almost 100 post-game shows, and we'll probably do 100 post-game shows this year. But it's a huge advantage to be a patron, to be a part of those, which again are live, which you can call into. You can react right there. And we don't share them except for rare occasions on the main channel. They are for the patrons. So become a patron. We just announced a PHT road trip to Colorado. You want to join us for Padres and Rockies? Become a patron. Patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. Padres Hot Tub, everybody. Craig Elsten, Chris Reed, Raphie Cantor, we are together with you, recording on MLK Day, Monday, January 19th. Nothing happened other than some international signings for the San Diego Padres over the course of the last week. So we do have a very fun game planned for the end of the show. We are going to be drafting, and I want to talk about it right at the top because I'm sure it's what most people will be tuning in to listen to, not us whining about Kyle Tucker. We're going to do that. We're going to do that aplenty.
There is an audience for that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is. I know. Yeah, we'll mention the international signings and whatnot, but then we are each going to draft a lineup of called the Ghost of Seasons Past draft, a starting 9 of the best single season Padre efforts in the 21st century. Here's the caveat: playoff teams excluded.
Yes.
So no 05, no 06, no 2020, no 2022, no 2024, no 2025. Takes a lot of great seasons out for the Padres. Those were then, the 6 years of 25 that they were the best by nature. So all the other seasons are up for grabs, and we will draft 27 seasons. Could be the same player, or it cannot be, right? Once a player is drafted, no other season is eligible. So it'll be 27 different players, 27 different Padres. And there'll be a lot of strategy and intrigue, and it should be fun. But first, the news. So this is how I choose to think about this as an entry for discussion. Sure, the Dodgers got an outfielder, Kyle Tucker, one of the 5 best outfielders in the league. And he is replacing Michael Conforto, who was one of the 5 worst outfielders in the league last year. So the team that we compete with yearly, the team that's won the last 2 World Series, got better in the 2 spots they had to get better this offseason. They got the best closer in Edwin Diaz, and they got the best outfielder in Kyle Tucker in terms of available. And, the number 1 guys in the market on each of them, and signed them to disgusting deals. But get this. Mohamed Mansour purchased San Diego FC in 2023 to join Major League Soccer in 2025. And at the time, he had to pay a record expansion fee of $500 million. So it cost Mohamed Mansour $500 million to create an entire franchise, San Diego FC, right? An entire project that spans youth academy, major league team, everything in between, front office, infrastructure, marketing, everything else. $500 million. The Los Angeles Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker to a 4-year, $240 million contract. But given that they were already $90 million over the top threshold in the salary tax bracket, they pay a 110% tax on that contract. That is $264 million in penalty tax. And you add 240 and 264, and you get to 504. And the Dodgers will pay more than Mohamed Mansour paid to create San Diego FC for one guy for 4 years on their big league team. That is the disparity that exists in Major League Baseball, where the Dodgers will pay an overall penalty tax this year of approaching $200 million that will be over the payrolls of like 18 Major League teams.
This is good for baseball. This is.
I mean, Ken Rosenthal certainly would have you think so. To me, this felt like a real tipping point moment, at least in my sort of neutral observation of national baseball writers and stuff, because you still have your sycophants like Ken Rosenthal who are just going to bootlick no matter what, because it means access and whatever. But people like Jeff Passan and Dallas Braden, who I've seen go to bat for the Dodgers in the past before. The narrative has long been, well, any team can spend. And I think that there's been some recognition that basically no other team could do this. You could probably count on one hand the amount of teams that are in a financial position to be able to do this. And, Dallas Braden summed it up quite well, which is that the Dodgers have two unicorns, and we've talked about them, ad nauseum on this podcast. They have the TV deal, which makes them richer than any other team with over $300 million of guaranteed revenue every year that no other team has. We always think of like Yes and the Yankees as sort of like the gold standard of that, but I believe that they only get $150 something million in revenue from their deal in the largest media market in the country. The Dodgers have a unicorn there, and that unicorn was what enabled them to bankroll signing Shohei Ohtani to a $700 million contract deferred contract, for lack of a better word, and allowed them to put money in escrow accounts to do that. They have the wealth of the Guggenheim Partners Group, and that then brings in $100 million alone in revenue from Japan, from sponsorships and stuff that no other team is going to get because so many eyes are on Shohei Ohtani. And so, it's a classic rich gets richer sort of thing. But the only difference between MLB and all of the other sports is that they have steadfastly and fearlessly sort of stood by this idea of regional sports networks and regional TV money in a way that none of the other major leagues do. They negotiate collectively and they sell their packages as a unit. Baseball is only getting a small sliver of their revenue collectively as a unit from the national games, which are also dwindling in their value as we're seeing NBC and Peacock is going to be broadcasting, the Sunday night games this year for the first time in, I think, my lifetime. It's been ESPN as long as I can remember.
Right. Yeah.
So and that's because ESPN opted out and basically we're like, this isn't worth it to us. I don't know. It really feels like the canary in the coal mine for the 2027 season to me. That like we really got to enjoy baseball this year, even as flawed as it is, because it feels like the immovable object of the salary cap and the unstoppable force of the players union is coming to a head come December this year.
I don't think salary cap is the only tool at the league's disposal to bring equity and competitive balance. The CBT obviously has not done that. That's been a complete failure. So it has to be something else. It has to be a more robust revenue sharing plan. It has to be the league deciding to float on the tide of joint, league-wide television deals and the removal of the local pool as something people can draw from. The league has to look at what the San Diego Padres have done as one of the smallest media markets in the nation and what they've created. Like, do you want stadiums full of a fan base rabid for baseball, buying jerseys? Two Padres are in the top 10 of jersey sales for Major League Baseball, Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado. Do you want to see those scenes, or do you want to see what you see all across the Midwest with these middling owners, doing whatever they can to leech off of revenue sharing? Because when the Dodgers pay that competitive balance tax, that doesn't get like split up amongst the league. The union isn't going to be too pissed off about that, because I want to say around half of that goes to funding league pensions and stuff for players that aren't even playing anymore. That money doesn't get split up amongst the owners. A lot of it goes to the players. So the union isn't going to feel motivated or incentivized to get rid of a program that's going to make them money. This has to come from the league, and this has to come from a long-term vision about what's good for baseball, because this past CBA saw the Padres get punished for trying to compete with the Padres. They constantly lost out on draft picks because they are over the CBT multiple times. They saw their ability to replenish the farm system be hamstrung because they were being punished like they were a big market, when the big markets are never even eligible to get revenue sharing in the first place. So baseball needs to incentivize spending from their shittiest owners in the league, and cap and floor may be the tool that does it. I don't know. Like, I'm not against cap and floor. I just don't see it as the only club in the bag. And there are ways to cut into the local revenue generated by cable deals that aren't currently in the CBA. And all it takes is it would be 2/3 of owners. It just needs owners to do it. Those are the people that need to do it. And if they can get past their short-term horizons on putting money in their pocket, if they can just take 5 seconds to consider the long-term health of the game, it can be done.
Well, allow me to offer a specific redress, because obviously the labor discussion is going to continue all year. The idea that there will be a lockout at the end of the year is a near certainty. And the question becomes, how much does it cut into 2027, if at all?
Yeah.
Or does it,
or not?
Yeah, or does it delay the season slightly, or whatever? All of that is, but those are the big things. Here's a specific thing, though. And this is something, for all the talk that we've had over the years over the Dodgers deal, this was a specific detail that had eluded me until the last week or two. And for everyone who thought that Frank McCourt was the worst Dodgers owner of all time, he left this franchise a fucking gift that was exploited by the Guggenheim Group.
You're going into the what part of the deal is shared? I've seen a lot of this on Blues. Yeah, but the carve out may not be accurate. Like there's been arguments on Blue Sky about this all week, whether or not this got amended 3 or 4 years later. I'm not I'm not educated enough to say this isn't true, but I don't know if it is.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Just like caveat, asterisk.
Okay. This is what you can. Okay, that's absolutely fair, because you know what is telling me this? Google's Gemini is telling me. Okay. So, keep it as it is. But I had seen it in a couple of places. Has it changed? I don't know. This is what it was. In 2011, the Dodgers went into bankruptcy with Frank McCourt. And as part of the negotiation of the bankruptcy settlement, it capped their shared television income at $84 million annually plus escalators. Okay, so like cost of living or whatever. But instead of whatever your TV contract is, you share that. It was whatever your TV contract is up to $84 million. 4% annual increase. Okay, so you could figure that out. And I'm sure someone smarter than me is figuring that out right now, exactly what the number would be. But I'll tell you what it wouldn't be is $334 million, which is what the Dodgers get every year. So if this carve out is true, it started in 2013, the Time Warner deal, which is a 25-year deal, in case you were hoping that someone was going to go bankrupt and that this money would evaporate for the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's a 25-year deal worth over $8 billion that pencils out to $334 million a year. And if only 84 of that is subject to MLB's revenue sharing, that's a lot. And even if it's 125 now, that's a lot of money that they're using to turn around and give to Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Edwin Diaz and Kyle Tucker and every major number one free agent that they want to sign.
Yeah, so this goes back to an article published in the LA Times back in 2012, and then Baseball Perspectives refuted it a year later. Your buddy Joe Sheehan was on a thread with Mike Petriello about it. And we just have to go, like so many other things in baseball, we don't fucking know. The opacity of the agreements between the league and its owners make it impossible for us to really know. But we know that the two unicorns that you presented earlier, the Dodgers are granted under this CBA. And we know the competitive landscape is absolutely rotten and wrecked, because for the first time in 27, 28 years, whenever the Yankees did it, we have consecutive World Series winners. And the Dodgers have built a juggernaut with money. There's no more of this they're scouting. Like, they got the best farm system in MLB right now, according to Baseball America. But that's just another indicator of the failure on the league's part to stop this shit from happening. Like, if you have a payroll over $500 million, I don't know, maybe you forfeit your first draft pick. Maybe you can't sign any international amateurs. It's a failure to see this coming, and they haven't been building it quick. This has been a Goliath built over the course of 7 years, not overnight.
Yeah, I did think it was funny, and I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add to on this topic, but when I was looking at the international bonus pool money assignments this year, the Dodgers had more money than the Padres to spend in the international bonus pool rounds. They buy about $600,000.
Yeah. So because they didn't sign somebody to a QO or some bullshit like that.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Exactly. So super, super, super cool system there. I mean, again, it's just like, this is the thing that's happening a lot in our society these days, which is that the system worked because of rules and norms, and all it takes is like one person to go against the norm for it to, and remember, for the longest time, it was Steve Cohen. Everyone was shitting their pants
Cohen
about
tax.
Steve Cohen and
Yeah.
the Cohen tax and the fourth band of the CBT. And I mean, it just is so funny how Cohen was the one who was like quite literally cucked by the Dodgers, live tweeting his demise about how, well, we're waiting to hear back from him, which is like never a good sign. Yeah, I mean, it's just I just think this is the part where we obviously, being in the same division as the Dodgers, being geographically as close to them as anyone except the Angels, are so keenly aware of the unfairness of it all. But I think this is the first one where I'm really just seeing like literally the other 29 fan bases going, okay, it takes a lot to shake the AL East folk from their little bubble of best division in baseball, East Coast bias thing, and they're all up in arms.
People don't care so much about $40 million in expenses for Teoscar Hernandez, but when it's the number one offensive free agent left on the board. I did reach out to Major League Baseball because the Padres situation is kind of up in the air, and we heard back on background from a league source, not giving us any information about money, of course, because they won't do that whatsoever. But if you were curious about where you're going to be watching Padres baseball this season, not much has changed.
It's going to be on Padres TV, right?
It's going to be on Padres TV. ESPN purchased the rights to that, to MLB TV, the broader thing. But that transition isn't expected to be complete this year. It could be. You could see ESPN roll out some things mid-season, but if you're a Padres fan, they're largely going to be in the same exact places you found them last year, and that's all you really need to know.
All right. Well, with that, I guess we can carry for anything else on Kyle Tucker or labor unrest, writ large. Look, there's the standing argument that, the Padres are just fucked because they've lined up their contention window against the most historic headwinds of all time.
Yeah.
Within their division. And so it means inescapable. It's inescapable. You need the perfect storm to not have to beat the Dodgers in the playoffs if you're good enough to make the playoffs. And San Diego could have done it in 2024, and they did do it in 2022. And I know Raphie and I think Chris believe that 2024 was kind of like the ultimate missed opportunity for the San Diego Padres organization. And I think every time that the Dodgers add another $500 million of spending on one fucking player, that they can literally flush $264 million in overage in order to sign a player to $240 million, that despair is a reasonable emotion and one that I want to acknowledge within the Padres fan base and recognize your feelings are justified. They're not wrong, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. For as great as the Dodgers are, we can go back to the individual moments. It takes Miguel Rojas hitting a homer off Jeff Hoffman, for them to be able to be where they are and win back-to-back. Otherwise, they lose. Or Isaiah Kiner-Falefa getting one step better lead at third base. It's still baseball, and 2022 shows you that in a short series, a dominant team can lose, but the Dodgers have advantages that no other team in baseball has ever had in their history before. The ability to buy the playoff spot. And I do mean that. They've bought their playoff spot. There's no scenario by which LA misses the playoffs entirely. Their worst case scenario is about what happened last year. Low 90s wins. And if that's enough to win the division, it's still enough. And I believed last year as well that if they needed 98 wins to win the division, they would have won 98 games. And if they needed 102 wins to win the division, they would have won 102 games. But they can play it like an NBA team where every other team in the league has to go all out for 6 months to make the playoffs. LA can go, 60% the whole year.
Yeah.
And just get their team to the end. And even if they're not the number one seed, they're going to have the deepest, most ridiculous core in the history of the game. And they'll have bought that, and they'll have earned what they bought. And it's at that time that roster has to perform. But it has the last 2 years, and it's lifted the trophy each of the last 2 years. So that's their bet. And they keep adding the best young players on the free agent market to keep that window alive forever. So with that, what 16-year-old international flyers can we boost up and trade for 2 years of control of a number 2 starter down the road, Raphie?
So the Padres, they signed 3 guys in their international window this year. The prospect of note is Joniel Hernandez. He's a Cuban 16-year-old shortstop, obviously. MLB Pipeline had him ranked as the 13th overall international prospect. Fangraphs has him as a 35 plus future value. It should be noted that MLB Pipeline has him as a 55 plus future value.
Yeah, they do things differently.
The pipeline thing is pretty ridiculous. I think Fangraphs, has a lot of risk that they bake into their assessment, and acknowledge that, the vast majority of 16-year-olds who get signed, even the ones to, multi-million-dollar bonuses, do not make the big leagues. So, but this was the write-up that Fangraphs did, which is Hernandez is a compact, explosive, righty-hitting shortstop from Cuba who is set to sign a $1.4 million deal with San Diego. He's a toolsy, high-variance player with swing and miss risk. Hernandez is athletic enough that he might be able to play multiple up-the-middle positions at maturity, including center field, for which he has the wheels. So that's fun. The one I was able to find kind of the least amount about was Timothy Mogan, who is an infielder from Curacao. Apparently, he's the best Curaçaoan. Is that the right demonym? Curaçaoan? San Diego?
Yeah, I think
San Diego
so.
on.
That's it.
But he's just an infielder. And then this was the one I think that's kind of had the most ink spilled because of the connection, which is that Diego Serna, who is a Mexican left-handed pitcher, Eric Longenhagen wrote the Padres seem to sign the best pitcher coming out of Mexico every year, usually from the Diablos Rojos program, and they've done it again with Serna, who's a little bit more filled out than some of his predecessors. He'll bump 90 miles per hour with life and throws a ton of strikes. So, he represented Mexico's national team at the 2024 U15 World Cup. Recently hit 92 miles an hour with his fastball. So that's all pretty cool. And I don't really have much more to add other than, in the 2029 offseason, I'm sure they will be traded for a team-controlled pitcher, like you said, Craig.
Periodic reminder that AJ Preller is yet to sign a contract extension.
Yep.
But yeah, hey, we got our guys. We got them. We got the guys. Adrian Morejon is the ultimate example. And hopefully the Padres will mill some value along the way from one of these cats. To wit, I'll just tack onto this before we get to the draft. Did you guys see that AJ Cassavell did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit this week?
I saw it. I did not read it.
Okay, I went through it. And the point of the contract extension was brought up. And he said, yeah, you're right. It hasn't happened yet. And what Cassavell wrote, and of course, AJ is a paid employee of the Padres, but he also writes for MLB.com. So he kind of has that quasi-repertorial position where the team could tell him not to say something. I just keep that in mind. When he says something, the team hasn't told him not to say that.
Yeah.
Right. And he said that he personally is looking at opening day as the line of demarcation,
which is what you
for
said.
AJ. That if on opening day AJ Preller doesn't have an extension, he is now officially in his last year with the San Diego Padres. He is a last year lame duck general manager. And all the days leading up to that, he's still getting into the season. So they could still be just waiting to announce it. And they could announce it February 15th. They could announce it pitchers and catchers and have everyone there and do the ceremony in Peoria. And no one would be surprised if they did that, right? Like, that would not be shocking in any way if first week of spring training, they did a AJ Preller press conference and announced a contract extension. If they did, it makes every aspect of this season make sense. If he's still got the contract extension to come, he's been GMing like a guy who's going to be here. He hired Craig Stammen to be his manager. And if that was going to be a 1-year bet on his future, that would be wild.
Yeah.
Maybe, given AJ, that would be just AJ, but that would be wild. So,
the interesting goss that I saw on this actually came from an Instagram comment that I confirmed. And do you know which other major league GM is in the final year of his contract? Jed Hoyer went into the last year of his contract and then got an extension mid-season with the Cubs last year. But you know who's doing the same thing this year?
Who?
Is it Cashman?
It is Brian Cashman of the New York Yankees.
I mean, he's been there forever.
He's been there forever, but he's been there forever. And that's a fan base that's pretty damn frustrated. And do you know who's from that area and grew up a Yankee fan?
Oh, that's true. I mean, could you imagine giving AJ the Yankees resources? To be honest, I think he might fuck it up. Like, I really do. Like, he's done better with handcuffs.
The Padres had a higher payroll than the Yankees in 22, or I'll eat my shoe.
23.
I could be wrong.
23.
23, yeah.
That was 1 year.
Yeah, and how'd that work out?
It didn't. It did not, indeed.
I'm telling you. I like AJ better with guardrails than I do with the Yankees payroll and farm system. But it would be fun, I'll tell you that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a valid point. It's a valid point. I think it is.
It's interesting.
Until they sign him, everyone else can think about an exit strategy and a game plan. And, AJ says he wants to be here, but you know what? Could you imagine him taking that Yankees job? And frankly, the Yankees should move on from Brian Cashman. The dude was there in the 90s.
Yes.
I mean, the game has moved a long way, and he's had a long career with the Yankees. They could probably use fresh blood in their front office. So, oh man, now that you've put that in my head, it's going to be like my buddy on that summer road trip in 1990 I told you about before we started. I'm never going to forget about this now. We're going to think about it till it happens.
I do wonder if he were to be GM, if they'd give him a Pobo above him. And they just say, which I actually really like for the Yankees if they did that.
Yeah, if they did that.
Because they have a great farm system. They have great development. And they might say, hey, AJ, you get to be GM of the New York Yankees, but we are giving you, someone ahead of you. I bet you.
Oh, it might be Cashman.
Could be.
Might be Cashman. Yeah. I'll just be Pobo. You be GM. Get to work there, Seidler Bros. Give us a little parting gift. Just a little parting gift on your way out. Set up the franchise as you try to sell them, okay?
How much money does Mansour have? He's extending, guys, for crying out loud.
I think he's put it into STFC.
$3.4 billion.
3.4, you say?
We need more.
Yeah, that would be. He's leveraged up for MLS. He's not leveraged up for MLB. And also because we didn't bring it up last week, Barry Bloom wrote a thing, and I just want to acknowledge its existence.
He's right behind you, Craig.
Yeah, he ran this. He ran this whole mental game where Joe Lacob, who already owns the Warriors, buys the Padres, and then somehow moves it from San Diego to Oakland as a growth opportunity for a big league franchise.
Yep,
which is insane.
Lots of sense.
That's not how Joe Lacob made his money. Okay, I'll just say that. So, all I wanted to say about that is I ain't scared. And if Joe Lacob wants to buy the Padres, I welcome the billionaire who has been incredibly successful and incredibly willing to spend money. I mean, what the Dodgers are doing in MLB, the Warriors did in the NBA for like 3 years, where they spent their payroll and then another, 125% of it or something in taxes. They doubled their payroll. And spent $500 million a year on payroll.
I can't name names, but I know somebody who has given him a massage. They say he's a really nice guy who tips well. I can't name names. That's all the information I can give. Nice guy, tips well. That's what else do you need?
Explains your recommendation on our banter show for an object as well. And you'll just have to be a patron to piece that together, to piece that joke together.
Different type of massage.
Got it. Okay. All right. I think without any further ado, we can move to the Ghost of Seasons Past draft, which will be, Raphie, a multi-pronged 2-week endeavor. Please explain to our listeners what the hell we're about to do.
Go.
So this is something that I dreamed up. We've in the banter, one of our banter podcast, which is exclusive for patrons. One of our permanent slots on the wheel we spin is doing a draft, and so I thought about what a draft could be for Padres stuff that would be interesting. We could take place on weeks like this where the Padres have done absolutely nothing, and I wanted to make it fun. And again, the greatest pastime for baseball creators is just remembering some dudes.
Yes.
So like how
some
can
guys.
just remember some guys. And so how can we create some Padres that I think most of our listenership will know? We're not going to be talking about Freddie Kendall in the 1973 season. And we're going to basically, the rules are as follows. So we are in week 1. We will do week 2 next week, assuming the Padres also do not do anything. And so week 1 is on the offensive side of the ledger. The task is to build the best starting 9, and we're doing it with the designated hitter because I don't want anyone drafting Adam Eaton as a hitter. That is just dumb.
Oh, poach!
So you're building the best starting 9 with a designated hitter of the best non-playoff team single seasons in Padres history. So if, for example, you could draft 2021 Fernando Tatis Jr., which I will remind everyone was a shortstop. You can draft 2016 Will Myers, which was his all-star year, et cetera, et cetera. Next week, we will be drafting a starting rotation and a bullpen under the same parameters. And here are the rules. You are restricted to teams in the 21st century, so 2000 and on. The season must be from a non-playoff team. So again, as Craig said earlier in the show, that means no one from 05, 06, 2020, 2022, 2024, 2025. This is the part that I think is really key to this draft and makes it fun as it is. Once a player is drafted, no other season is eligible. So if 2021 Fernando is drafted, you cannot draft 2023 Fernando with a different pick. No other player can take him. So Fernando, even though you're only drafting one season, you are taking him off the board. Okay?
Right.
And then the rule is in terms of positions that you can draft whichever order. There's not a catcher round. There's not a first base round. Like you can do it in whatever order you want. However, a player must have played at least 50% of their games at the defensive position to which they're assigned, which is like basic like fantasy rules stuff. So you can't put Ryan Klesko at shortstop. Like, not allowed. Now, the only exception to this is designated hitter, which I'm basically kind of looking at as the flex position. Like,
Right.
you can kind of
That's
just
your second
put anyone
guy.
there.
Yeah.
So those are the rules as they've been established, and we're going to now randomly generate a number between 1 and 100. But first, I'm going to need each of you guys to pick a number between 1 and 100.
And you as well,
Okay.
right?
Yes, we will all do it.
Well, what's yours
Okay.
first there, big boy?
Okay,
I've got
I'll go with
mine.
my lucky.
I've got mine.
I'll go with my lucky number 6. Craig?
Okay, we're doing a Padres draft, so I'm going to take 19.
Okay.
Oh, I was very tempted to go with my baseball number, but now I can't. I'm going to go with my football number, which was 71.
Oh, I was
Okay.
going to do 71, and then I switched to 19. That's so wild. Okay.
6,
Let's see
19,
how it works out.
and 71. And now we go to
Can you share the screen?
screen.
Yes!
I can.
I've gone to
All
my
right.
war room, by the way.
Random
I
number
changed
generator between 1 and
locations.
100. Generate number 1.
Oh, give me a break.
You're
All right,
only
so you
doing
go
it
first and I go
once?
second.
Do you want me to do it again?
Oh,
Like,
because I go second now.
we didn't establish it. We didn't do it. If you would have watched Padres Hot Tub Breaks, you would have seen there are other ways.
Oh,
but
all right.
I will accept the result.
Okay.
I mean, getting the turn is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I'm okay
Yes.
with it. I'm okay with it.
So,
All right, Raphie, you go first. You got
so
1-1.
so again, it
Take
is
it.
a snake draft. So I will get the first. Craig will get the second. Chris gets third and fourth. Craig gets
Yeah.
fifth, and I get sixth, and so on and so
All right.
forth.
You've already said the
Okay.
name, Raphie. Say it again.
It's interesting. It's really interesting because there actually is someone who you could argue could also be the 1.1 pick. But no, I'm going to take it as a defensive buy. I'm going to take 2021
Yeah, of
Fernando
course.
Tatis Jr.
You have to.
As my shortstop. For folks who don't remember, Fernando slashed 282, 364, 611 that year.
42 jacks.
42 home runs, 97 RBI, stole 25 bases, 975 OPS. I mean, he was an absolute beast, and he was just okay at shortstop, but he wasn't a complete tire fire. Remember, this is basically right before the big move happened, because he was getting a little wild with his stuff. But yes, 2021 Fernando Tatis Jr. with my pick. Craig, you are at the pivot.
Oh, it's funny you say that because I think the next obvious pick is 2004 Mark Loretta.
Yep.
Okay.
At second base. Mark Loretta in 2004 had a 6-WAR season. Tatis was 6.6 for his effort. And of course, I'm going to be able to find better depth down the road in the outfield and corner positions than I will at second base, where Mark Loretta made the All-Star team, hit .335, played 154 games with 707 plate appearances. Just in case you thought that this was a fluky or hard-won season. He hit 335. He hit 335 and 620 at bats, 391 on base, 495 slugging out of the second base spot. That's an 886 OPS, 16 homers, 76 RBI. He scored 108 runs. He had 208 hits that year. He had 58 walks to only 45 strikeouts. He led baseball with 16 sac flies that season, and he only grounded in to 10 double plays. He actually finished top 10 in MVP voting in 2004 and was the Silver Slugger at his position. So kind of an auto pick for me after Tatis is off the board to take that. Loretta season, and I know I have the best second base in the draft.
Padres fans of a certain age, like that Mark Loretta name is absolutely just in gold. Kind of beyond where I think that name evokes for just about anybody else, thinking about baseball.
Yeah, and I do want to just commend you because you've also taken Mark Loretta's 2003 season off the board, which was a 5-WAR season.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is no more Loretta to be had, but there is Chris Reed to draft twice now in a row.
And you
So
guys did it right.
Define.
You guys did it absolutely right. The middle infield has seasons that really stand out where kind of the other positions you have guys that, it's a little bit of a compromise, but not much of one. I am very tempted. I'm going to let you guys take that position out of personal spite. And my first pick is going to be left fielder 2023 Juan Soto. He's back.
Yeah.
He's back. I'm going to go ahead and take him off the board just for a lot of the reasons. Like, I'm tempted to do another guy here, but he really only played half a season. This was the only season we got to see Juan Soto the entire year. He walked more than he struck out. He frustrated people a whole bunch, and he hit 35 jacks. Like, I'm happy to have that in my outfield, kind of holding it down. My next one, gosh, like, I'm kind of fine with the second or third pick on all other positions. So I'm just gonna go straight by the numbers, and I'm gonna take. Let me double check one thing. No, I can't. It was a playoff year. I can't take that person. That's a drag. So I'm going to take, this was definitely not a playoff year. I'm going to take 2012 Yasmani Grandal.
Oh, wow.
With my second pitch. You can go a lot of different full seasons by catchers that are just kind of fine, but I'm getting an extra 12 OPS 10 OPS plus points on Grandal over his replacement. He was a lot of fun to watch. It was one of the trades that just kind of brought you right back into the misery of being a Padres fan, of like, wow, we just saw this guy and now he's gone. So yeah, that's Juan Soto and Yasmani Grandal we just saw this guy and now he's gone team.
What a clubhouse you've got brewing right now.
By the numbers, baby.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna really try to be strategic and win. Which everyone should do all the time, of course.
You don't think I am doing that?
No, but I'm not saying that. Grandal is an interesting pick. 2.5 WAR in kind of a half season that year, but he was quite good. And that is a very limited area. But some of the best seasons are available right now. Like some of the actual best seasons are available. Yasmani Grandal did not have one of those. And I'm trying to decide.
My year he's going to. The fictional year.
Of course. I'm trying to decide by scarcity. And that is absolutely what's going to determine my next pick. I am going to take 2009 Adrian Gonzalez.
That was my next pick.
I thought about it.
No, because Craig, I was legit debating between taking him and Fernando 1.1. Like,
yeah.
There's actually not that many good first base seasons.
That's exactly that's what I'm seeing. Yes.
Craig, congratulations. You just drafted a guy who owns Los Angeles pizza restaurants that has Dodger shit all over its walls. Well done for you, my friend.
Also, Eastlake High graduate. And
nope, that's all dead.
Native
that's
San
all
Diegan
gone.
who wore 19 in high school growing
Where's
up.
Dodger hats now? That's
studied his
matters.
swing off of Tony Gwynn to style his swing after Tony Gwynn. When you actually look at the 21st century by B-War, who had the best individual season, this is it. It's Adrian Gonzalez in 2009, an otherwise very forgettable year for San Diego, but he made his second of 4 consecutive All-Star teams. He led the National League with 119 walks. He had 40 homers that year, 99 RBI, 90 runs scored, 407 on base percentage, .958 OPS, which was the highest of his career. And that's, a great career, a 43.6 WAR career, but he put 7 of it up, or 6.9, in 2009. And I prefer the second and third choice options at other positions than I do at first base, where Adrian really stands out. So on to you, Raphie, for 2.
Okay, so I've got my second and third pick back to back, which gives me a little bit of flexibility here.
I might be so screwed.
For the reasons that we discussed just now with Adrian Gonzalez, I'm going to take pretty much the only other first base season that comes anywhere close to what Adrian was able to achieve in 2009. And I already invoked his name once earlier when I was explaining the rules, and he was a personal favorite of mine growing up. It's 2001 Ryan Klesko, who is going to be playing first base for my San Diego Padres. Ryan Klesko, yes, 286. Excuse me, I'm now reading his slash line. He slashed 286, 384, 539, an OPS plus of 145. He hit 30 home runs. He had 113 RBI that year. He also could surf, and I thought that was cool. So it should be worth saying that. That doesn't count for anything in the draft, but pretty much the only other great first base season that the Padres have had in the 21st century on a non-playoff team. And then coming in for my third round pick, to me, this is another no-brainer.
I'm so dead. I'm so screwed.
It is. Well, I'm not drafting on scarcity. Because there are some other good seasons.
I'm writing
it
in. You can just keep talking. I'm writing it in.
But I am drafting because it is an outlier fun season, and I'm drafting 2012 Chase Headley.
Absolutely.
Who amassed 6.4 B WAR in that year, and tricked the entire New York Yankees front office. He slashed 286, 376, 498, an 875 OPS, a 145 OPS plus. This is in the doldrums of the pitchers era in baseball. So think on that, and I really like what he provides for my lineup in terms of handedness flexibility, because lest we forget, Chase Headley, switch hitter. So
great point.
Chase Headley, my third round pick. Okay, Craig, it's back to you.
I just wanted to point out that a couple of things about that Klesko season, which is a season I adore. His only All-Star season of his 16-year career. He had 88 walks against 89 strikeouts that year. We're talking about a big-time slugger, and he actually went the final 11 years of his career never striking out 100 times. So really interesting how Klesko went bat to ball, but 88, 89, that's like Dave Magadan type stuff. That's really impressive. The year before, he was 91 walks, 81 strikeouts. Also that year, he stole 23 bases, 4 caught stealing.
I just looked at the disparity with catchers, and I totally blew this. I was not going to draft Adrian Gonzalez. I should have taken Klesko and just taken that right away, because he is one of my favorite Padres, an absolute masher, and I'm jealous.
Well, now that you've done what you did, Raphie, you lock in my pick here.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Phil Nevin's 2001 season, which is another season that I absolutely adore. I told Ben that year that I had a 3-game egg timer, essentially, that if I didn't mention it in 3 post-game shows that they needed to sign him to a contract extension, that I needed to be reminded to do so. This was a 5.8 WAR season at third base. It was Phil's only All-Star appearance of his career. 306 average, 388 on base, 588 slugging, 41 homers, 31 doubles, 126 runs batted in. A lot of those Klesko and Loretta. in front of him. He walked 71 times to 147 strikeouts, so he did whiff, but he also walked. He commanded the zone. He had 31 doubles. He was an absolutely a 158 OPS plus all-star player that year for the San Diego Padres. Best year of his career, the season that launched the rest of his career and got him paid. Phil Nevin, 2001. Still leaves you with a good third baseman down the road, Chris, but we've got the best 2 seasons by far.
That's fine. You guys could have really screwed me over. You can have Chase Headley all you want, but if you both would have taken if you would have taken Manny Machado, for instance, and Phil Nevin, I would have had take Chase Headley, and that would have been unfortunate. I got to take Manny. Manny, I'm almost positive. Nope. Tatis Jr. also finished third in NL MVP award voting and got 1-1 in our draft. I get down at 3 a guy who finished third in MVP voting in 2022. So that one's easy.
Self-explanatory. You're not drafting his 2022
You're drafting his 2021.
They made the playoffs.
You're drafting his 2021 season.
I am, but damn it. Yep, you're right.
Still the right call. Like,
it's a call.
Still the next best third base season.
Okay. Well, now my lineup dynamics really get wonky. I think I have to. No, I'm not going to do it. I need center field. And there's just a lot of fun seasons at center field that I don't feel compelled to. You know what? Friggin', I'm getting the kid. I'm getting Jackson Merrill's rookie season. This should have been a rookie of the year campaign out in center field for a guy who immediately got a long-term contract, is going to be on the team for a long time. He brings a love of the game that is going to bring Yasmani along. Like it's gonna help him rediscover.
If he was on your team, he might really help that. But what?
Oh God damn it!
From competition.
Fucking my God, Mike Schultz, you bastard! You playoff making bastard! All right.
Oh man.
I can't even take Trent Grisham's best year.
No, you can't. That's right.
No.
All right. See, my dissonance here is I did 2 separate tabs for my prep, and I didn't cross-reference because I'm panicking. All right, okay. I got to take a first baseman eventually. Fuck it. Fuck you guys. I'm taking Ryan Schimpf. I'm taking Ryan Schimpf to play second base.
That was a great season.
That's gonna be what I
just
want.
to clarify, you're taking his 2016 season.
2016 season. Yeah, he had 1 year, Raphie.
Just wanted to make sure.
The summer of
That's
Schimpf
so funny.
was fucking amazing. We need vibes on this club badly, and he's going to give them to us.
Amazing. You are so funny.
At the beach all day.
Well, with that very entertaining round in the rearview mirror, I am going to continue to try and be somewhat strategic. And I am going to take Ramon Hernandez's best season, 2004.
Good pick.
At catcher, because there's a lot of bad seasons of catcher. And I think that's the best one. Overall, even better than good old buddy Yasmani, who was on roids when he did your season, Chris. So he's a roid stealer. First year for Ramon Hernandez with the Padres, he had an 818 OPS, 276 average, 341 on base, 477 slugging, 18 homers, 23 doubles, 63 RBI in 111 games, and 432 plate appearances. The year before, he was an all-star with Oakland, and 2 years later, he would be moved on to Baltimore. But the 2 years he was with the Padres, he was good both years, but he was a little bit better in 2004. So and they made the playoffs in 2005, so that made him ineligible. So that's the season I am taking, and over to you, Raphie.
Well, I just wanted to point out the key piece of this strategy that I have to start calling out that I'm going to be employing, which is that you guys have already taken your second baseman and your catchers.
Right, so now you
you
can
are
just sit
locked
on
out of
those.
those positions. So
Well,
I
we
can
could
now
take him for
save
DH
those.
if we were stupid, but yeah.
You could. One could do that.
I
but
shouldn't
I'm
have
going
taken Manny. God damn it.
Well, I would have taken him for my DH, bro. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
I would have
That's
done that
true.
just
all right,
to
all right.
nuke
I
your
forget
team,
that
so.
factor too. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thrown you down to Solarte. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So I am going to take a season which looms large in my mind. I was 16 years old during this season, and it was a bright spot in otherwise absolute bullshit. Which is, and I'm just going to confirm that he played enough of the position that I'm drafting him at. So yes, and I'm correct. Which is, I'm taking 2011 Cameron Maybin as my center fielder. Cameron Maybin during the season, he put up 4.4 B WAR. He slashed 264, 323, slugged 393. So only an OPS plus of 103, but absolutely stellar, unbelievable defensively. Put up 2 wins just with his glove. Was all over the field. He stole 40 bases. Was only caught stealing 8 times. And I just thought he was a really fun guy to watch. So, that is, again, more of a strategic pick than anything because the center field seasons are sort of slim pickings. So Cameron Maybin is going to be my center fielder. And I have the next pick, which I need just a quick second to sort of think on. But I don't really have a ton of thinking to do on this because I know which one I'm going to take next, which for my right fielder, I believe he played right field in 2008. I'm going to select Brian Giles. Brian Giles.
Yeah.
Who was an absolute monster in more ways than one. 306, 398, 456, 138 OPS on the year. He only homered 12 times, but was just really good defensively. Was a hitting machine again at a time of scarcity for the team. So yeah, I'm going to take Brian Giles.
Outstanding, my friend. Continuing strategically, I am going to, with my 5th round pick, take the 2007 season of Khalil Green to be my team's shortstop. This is Green's best season by a mile. This was the great season of his career. He hit 27 home runs in 2000, 27 of his 90 career home runs in 2007. Year 4 of his 5-run year as Padres starting shortstop, 3.5 B WAR, 44 doubles to go with the 27 homers that year, 97 runs batted in, 89 runs scored, and only a 291 on base percentage, which killed his OPS plus down to 101. But combined with the amazing defense that he played, the dynamic presence that he was, I do have a pretty right-handed lineup right now. I will say that, but Khalil Green, I absolutely like. I know who I'm leaving you at shortstop, and I'd rather have this season than that. So I will take Khalil Green.
Well, I will continue to think convolutedly and without direction or bearing. Let's just see who. Okay, gotta delete. You scratch him off the list. Then, I could go Craig's route and get famous Dodgers and put them on my team, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. No,
That's exactly my goal. How did you know? It was just like, how many Dodgers can I get?
And first base, you guys have already done. Let's get into. All right. All right. I think what I am going to do, because this is going to be the best Padres team of all time. And that means
Ever.
they have to have the best Padres on it.
Got it.
I am going to draft 2001 Tony Gwynn.
Pitch hitting. So
he's gonna play 71 games coming off the bench.
Kind of awesome.
And he's gonna be there on my friggin' team with Ryan Schimpf and Manny Machado.
Was he better in 2000? Would you be better off with his 2000 season?
I don't care. I don't care which one it is. It's Tony Gwynn, and he's really, really hurting. Like, you're reading about his knee getting drained every 2 weeks by Nick Canepa. It's not the best time of the Tony Gwynn era. However, I'm putting him on my damn team because I need to. I absolutely need to. And that won't make it the best on paper, like my Grandal choice. Like I said, I'm continuing convolutedly. And
right.
I'm going to take, with my second pick, another guy who I don't know the defensive war, but I'd assume it's pretty damn good. He's going to play center field for me. Oh shit. No, they didn't do it that year.
No, he's not. No,
he's definitely available because this was my senior year and they were not going anywhere near the friggin' playoffs. I'm taking Mark Kotze to play center field. This dude was a blast to watch.
Nice.
Was an absolute fan of him, and I too want to be able to get my 1 through 9 in a way I can feel good about. Kotze, it was a guy who could get you a little bit of power. He hit 17 that year, which wound up being his career high, but still got on base at a 360 clip back when walks weren't even as sexy as they are now. One thing that's fascinating is that he got MVP votes just a couple years later after going to Oakland. But this year he was just as good, same glove, few less hits because he didn't play quite as didn't hit as high in the lineup or something. I don't know, but 452 slug, 810 OPS with a prime defensive performance at a position you need it. That's my guy.
And you're taking which season? 01 or 02?
02.
02. Okay. 2002. Mark Kotze is your pick. Very good pick. I am going to take my designated hitter with this selection and take the player off the board. And I'm just double checking that I am making the right choice. Yeah. I'm going to take 2021 Jake Cronenworth to be my DH.
That's just vindictive. That's nasty.
That's so good because I was like, I can sit on him for my second base.
No, you can't.
I was taking him late in the draft. Good.
Not
pick.
anymore.
Good
I needed some
pick.
left-handed balance for my team.
Wow.
And as we know, Jake can play anywhere. So we're going to use Jake in the lineup to spell guys in the DH role.
Sure. Yeah.
He'll play second base one day, shortstop another, third base another. But this was, of course, as you know, his first All-Star season, his best season, 4.8 WAR, 21 homers, 71 RBI, 33 doubles, 7 triples, 800 OPS, slashing 266, 340, 460, 55 walks against 90 Ks, and played great defense. But we don't care about that because he's going to be our DH. And that is Jake Cronenworth off the board. Onto you, Rafe.
Wow. That
Brutal.
just really put a huge dent in my draft strategy, unfortunately. I have 2 picks back to back, and I will explain this one because he kind of does 2 things for me. Which is I'm going to take Justin Upton 2015 for my left field pick. that also takes him off the board for Chris for his designated hitter. But I'm going to be playing him at left field. Yes, very good that year, of course. 119 OPS plus. Only batted 251. 336 on base, but 454 slugging. He hit 26 home runs, stole 19 bases. And he was a great trade candidate that helped us to dump some salary eventually. So that's going to be my left field pick. And then in terms of my, this is crazy in terms of like my designated. It's crazy just based on how many guys you guys have taken already. Like that designated hitter has really been whittled down. In a big way. So like Soto's gone, Loretta's gone, Nevin's gone, Headley's gone, Gonzalez, Klesko, Giles, Machado. I'm just going down the list. This doesn't really make sense to take as my designated hitter. So okay. I love this.
Did you find him? There's a guy who's a great DH.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's who you have in mind, but it is who I'm going to pick just for the lulz of it all, which is that I'm taking 2014 Seth Smith as my designated hitter. Seth Smith, who had a 134 OPS plus
Yes, he did.
in 2014. He slashed 266, 367, 440, and only 807 OPS. But just a ridiculous bonkers pick. I think still Chris still has the crown with the Gwyn pick. As just the most crazy. But yeah, Seth Smith from 2014, my designated hitter. Okay, Craig, back to you in the pivot.
I really, really wanted to pick Seth Smith with my last pick so he could be the final piece. Because if you remember, that was his nickname that year. He was the final piece for the 2014 Padres. They were good to go once they got Seth Smith. Okay, so that was a player I was definitely targeting. But right here, I'm going to take Mike Cameron to be my center fielder. And his highest WAR season with the Padres was 2006. And that will be the year I take when Mike Cameron OPS'd 837 for the Padres, 121 OPS plus, was actually just 2 points off the career high that he had in 2001 for the incredible Mariners team. This was his age 33 season. 22 bombs, 34 doubles, 9 triples, walked 71 times, stole 25 bases against just 9 steals. Tremendous defense, as you know, won the Gold Glove, in fact, that year in center field for the Padres. So wait a second. I can't take that year. I can take, I cannot take that year. Hang on. Hold on. I'll go 1 year past 2007, where he still had 3.2 WAR, but he ran into the head of Carlos Beltran. Because you're a little bit short. 2007, Mike Cameron is still at 3.2 WAR, the best option in center field remaining. And that's what I will take.
All right. Back to me. And I just have one slight decision to make, and I'm going to make it. Okay.
Yes.
Hold. I've got a first baseman spot I need to fill, and I'm pretty sure he has not been drafted. He may have been, and at which point I apologize. But there was a year that brought upon, I think, hitherto the largest contract in Padres history. Maybe Shields was right before it, but in 2017, Will Myers came to the team, hit 30 home runs.
Yeah.
What
You got to take Will. You literally have to take Will.
Okay, good. I was worried that I was disqualified.
2016, right?
No,
Yeah, you should take his
2017.
All-Star year. Well, they were
he hit
both
more
good.
home runs. They're both good, but yeah, I want the
Want the 30 homers? That's fair.
I want the 30 home runs, man.
Okay.
Like all the other
2017.
stats are about the same because he was the same guy for those years, got his money, and then became one of the best purchasers of shots in the Gaslamp Quarter history.
Yeah.
Our barehanded king at the plate. I'm taking 2017 for the 30 Jacks. And then for my designated hitter, we're gonna flash forward a couple years forward to when young, thick Hunter Renfroe was
Ooh.
prowling right field for the San Diego Padres, hitting up. We're not going to have the 180 home run problem on my team, okay? Because
No.
Hunter's going to give me 33. He's going to get on base at a 289 clip, but he's going to be hitting behind Grandal near the bottom of the order, and that's fine. That's fine. You can budget in 154 strikeouts when you've got 33 home runs. That's my guy.
Oh, those are two really good picks. I mean, you had to take Myers. So, unless you went crazy and picked 2000 Dave Magadan or something like.
Did both of you take your DHs now? Yeah. So
yes.
it was going to be.
Yes. And you've now made Tony your DH. So,
no way.
In doing that,
he's out there. He's out there, man. He's still got that cannon.
Please put Renfroe's arm out in right field instead of 41-year-old Tony Gwynn.
No way.
Roaming around out there with
Tony's out there, dude.
With arthritis.
He's my right fielder. Like I said, they got draining procedures.
Where do I want to go here? This is a little bit tricky. This one's just a little bit tricky because I could just go by the numbers. I'm kind of trying to build a lineup on top of everything else, just to get the absolute undisputed win, because I feel great about this team right now. But I could wind up with 7 right-handed bats if I just went purely on take the highest WAR at my position available. So I think I'm going to diversify just a little bit. And I think I need, for this lineup, I think I need a leadoff hitter. I think I need a guy because I've got Loretta to bat second. And then I've got this just incredible wealth of power and on base with Adrian and Nevin and so on and so forth. I've got great depth at the lineup with Khalil and Ramon and Cronenworth and Cameron. So I'm going to take... Some people are going to say I lost the draft on this pick. I'm going to take my man... Oh, hang on. Ineligible. Never mind. Fuck. I got to move on.
Who was it?
I was going to take Dave Roberts.
See, you're a Dodger loving. You're a Dodger loving.
Yeah.
He went to Rancho Buena Vista High School, man. He still
nobody cares about high school. This isn't the CIF. This isn't the prep pigskin report.
All right, then. Fine. You want to be that way? You can be that way. And then I'm gonna switch it up then. You got a Gwynn? I got a fucking Gwynn.
What?
Give me Tony Gwynn Jr. 2009. Center field. All right.
Yes.
2.9 WAR that year.
Yep.
Hit 270. That was his career high for the Padres.
I saw his first hit as a Padre. It was awesome. I'll never forget it.
I got Tony batting ninth.
Okay. Well, that means I for sure get my picks.
Yes, you do.
So I am just to stunt on the hose, I'm going to take the one I actually want with my last pick because I got 2 back-to-back.
Nice.
So I need a catcher and I need a second baseman. So for catcher, I'm going to take 2014 Rene Rivera.
Okay.
116 OPS plus. Really good defensively that year as well. So yeah, he hit 252, 319, 432, a 751 OPS. Hit 11 home runs. Walked 27 times. Yeah, I don't know. He was playing in a platoon, played 103 games, but I'll take that. I'll take that every time. I was tempted between Renee and Yorvit Torrealba just because I love saying Yorvit Torrealba. But unfortunately, Rene Rivera did have the better season, so I took him. But for my final pick, which I really cannot believe I am getting this man with my final pick.
Oh, no.
At second base, lest we forget that in 2023, Ha-Seong Kim
That's true.
played second base for the Padres en route to an unbelievably stellar 5.4 win season.
Yeah.
He had a 107 OPS plus, 749 OPS. He hit 17 home runs. He had 60 RBI. He stole 38 bases. He walked 75 times. 4 WAR, but 2 defensive WAR in his first year ever as a second baseman. The season that cemented him as a Padres favorite of mine. So that is my final pick in the draft, 2023 Ha-Seong Kim.
He's no
That's a
Ryan
great
Schimpf. And my condolences to Ha-Seong Kim for missing the first third of the season. That's a bummer. It's a bummer for him. Falling while ice skating. He's hurt.
Yeah. Well, you know what? As we went through all of this, I realized that I screwed something up because I had already taken Mike Cameron and I took Tony Gwynn. And he only played center field that year. So I can't take him. So I'm gonna erase him. And you got to take both those picks kind of for free on me, which is fine because I screwed up. Wow. I don't know how that season wound up being worth 4.2 WAR. He must have caught everything. I am not going to do that. So I'm going to round up my team. I don't care about handedness anymore. I just have good players. I'm going to round it out with 2 guys who had seasons that I really enjoyed and I covered in person. So replacing Tony in that 8th round pick, I'm going to pick Bubba Trammell
Nice.
in 2001. His 2.2 WAR season, his 1 year as a real starter, he hit 25 home runs, drove in 92 that year, played 142 games, had 2.2 BWAR, playing almost exclusively in right field. He played a trickle in left, but 797 OPS, 112 OPS plus. But by far and away his career season. Bubba Trammell, he's going to be clubhouse vibes aplenty. That's going to be my right fielder, and my left fielder is going to be another guy who was there for a year, but made just a huge impression on being an incredible person who actually was an all-star this year, and that was 2003 Rondell White. And Rondell White
That's awesome.
is going to be my left fielder. I want to tell you, Rondell White, he came in advertised as one of the great human beings in the sport. Like when the Padres got him that winter, people told me like, oh, you're not even going to believe what a great guy Rondell White is. And he was replacing someone who I thought was a great guy in 2002 that I was just picking between, which is Ron Gant. Ron Gant came in for 1 year and was just incredible for a terrible Padres team. But in 2003, playing for the Padres, wearing the Padres uniform, he made the All-Star team. He then went to Kansas City. He got picked up for a stretch run and he actually killed it for them in 22 games with 1,013 OPS. But during the time he was with the Padres, he had 278, 330, 465, 18 homers, 66 RBI, 115 hits, was an absolute leader on that team, which allowed him to get traded. And I forget what they got for him, but hopefully it was something good. But Rondell White will close it out for me and leave you one more pick, Chris.
One more pick at shortstop. Gentlemen, welcome to San Diego, Xander Bogaerts.
Yep, I knew
Just as Ha-Seong Kim moved to second base, allowing you to get him for that 2023 year, Raphie. Bogey started as a shortstop. He will not end as a shortstop as a Padre. But getting him here allows me to slot him in 7th in my lineup. My perfectly balanced, staggered lineup. I can't wait to draft all right-handed relievers to just burn you down next week, Craig.
That's fine. That's fine. So in the end, Raphie winds up with Tatis, Klesko, Headley.
Or is that your lineup, Craig? Raphie?
Well,
no.
Well, yeah, I figured what we could do. I mean, do you want to write out your batting order, or
I have my batting order. Yeah, I have a batting order, which is
okay. Chris, since you're
different.
Ready, why don't you go through and name your batting order?
Batting first, I have 2023 Juan Soto. After him will be 20. It wouldn't be 2022, as we said. It would be 2021 Manny Machado, and then behind him, hitting third, is Tony Gwynn. Won't mention the year. Will Myers is the cleanup hitter with 30 home runs right behind him. Mark Kotze with his OBP, and Pop is behind him. Xander Bogaerts batting 7th, which we would all love. Yasmani Grandal batting 8th, getting on base for Big Beef Boy Hunter Renfroe batting 9th.
Sweet. Okay, cool. All right. So batting first for me is and playing shortstop is 2021 Fernando Tatis Jr. Batting second and playing first base is 2001 Ryan Klesko. Batting third and playing right field is 2008 Brian Giles. Batting cleanup and playing third base is 2012 Chase Headley. Batting fifth and playing left field is 2015 Justin Upton.
Sure.
Batting sixth and playing second base is 2023 Ha-Seong Kim. Yeah. Batting seventh and designated hitting is 2014 Seth Smith. Batting eighth and playing catcher is 2014 Rene Rivera. And batting ninth, as sort of a second leadoff for me, is 2011 Cameron Maben in center field.
Oh, wow. I missed Ryan Schimpf. Ryan Schimpf is hitting after Renfroe. Sorry.
Okay, Craig.
All right. Now I'm going to go here. Okay. So we're going to go with, sure, why not? Loretta leading off at second base, 2004, Mark Loretta. Couldn't do better than that. We'll go ahead and let Adrian hit second. 2009, Adrian Gonzalez with his 120 walks. Then we're going to bat Phil Nevin with his 41 homers and 126 RBI third. And I feel like no one can top that top three. Like, that's just unbelievable. We'll put Mike Cameron, 2007, in cleanup with all his speed and power. I'll put Cronenworth at DH, batting fifth behind him with speed and power. Then we're going to put Ramon Hernandez at catcher. Khalil Green will hit seventh with 27 homers and 44 doubles, and 20-some steals, but that lower on-base percentage will hit seventh. And then Bubba Trammell and Rondell White will clean up whatever's left, just bombing home runs out of the 8 and 9 spot. That is a 1 through 9 lineup, boys.
You're talking about
that was really fun.
You're talking best top three and claiming walks as the big thing with Juan Soto staring across at one of the other two dugouts. There's 3 dugouts in this scenario.
There's 3 dugouts.
There are.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll do week part 2 next week, where we do the pitching side of the ball.
Yeah, and obviously our patrons will be given a poll to pick which one of these lineups they like best, and we'll let you know what they thought next week. Because every time we do a draft, we let them pick who's going to win. Who knows? Maybe the actual Padres will do something, or else we'll just do another fun draft, and that'll be next week. For Chris Reed and Raphie Cantor, I'm Craig Elsten. Thanks for being here. If you can and you have not, if you're watching on YouTube, throw us that thumbs up. Click subscribe to make sure you catch all of our shows. If you are listening on a podcast and you can give us a 5-star rating on whatever podcast platform you use, even better, a nice written review. Those things always help out the show. Until next week, go Padres.